dynamic probes update for the Linux. And at first, here is the speaker information. Masami Hiramatsu, researcher in Hitachi, and I'm doing the many things on the embedded Linux and Docker or something like that, and also Linux kernel kprobes maintainer. And I'd like to show you that what the recent update on the dynamic probes. And what is the dynamic probes? Actually, the dynamic probes is the dynamic directly means that these instrumentations, especially for the K probes and the U probes. However, there is many components related to the dynamic probes, like online for the online analysis. So the green ones are related to the dynamic probe. So today's talk will cover these ones. So at first, I'd like to start with the K probes and the U probes update. Actually, here is the summary of the updates. What we're done is the K probes blacklist support, and also OptProbes and U probes for the ARM32. And what is ongoing is the K probes for ARM64. Actually, that the K probes on ARM maintained and developed by the Wannan and John Medhurst, and also David Wong is working on that. And here is the debug so that the first one is the K probes blacklist. Debug with FS interface. We already support the K probes blacklist, and now we can access the blacklist from the K probes debug FS interface, so that we can check which area we cannot probe, and which one is okay. So that nowadays we can check that these are blacklisted areas from the user space, so that the Perf-probe can check that. And also on the ARM32, we support that OptProbe. OptProbe is optimized that the K probes by using that the branch or jump instruction, so that it drastically speed up the probes, dynamic probes, because that usually that the K probes use breakpoint, so that it causes exceptions or interrupts inside the kernel. And also nowadays ARM32 U probes already supported. And ARM64 actually the K probes now support is under developing and mostly okay. I think maybe that the next release will support the K probes on ARM64. However, the U probes is not supported yet, so that this one is one of the to-do list. And the next F-trace update. Actually, here I'd like to introduce that F-trace histogram support. That is actually the Tom's work. And why is the histogram required? the most of the tracing use cases are debugging or profiling, and so that the debugging is to find that the root cause of the behavior problem, and also profiling for the root cause performance analysis, and for the performance analysis, uh, the what event the most important things is what event is the most frequently occurred or something like that, and find peaks and distribution is also important. So that the histogram is very useful for that. And now Tom's historical series are, I'll say, yeah, he sent. The, here is a good article about the histogram support. Um, Actually, the histogram trigger is just a extent of the event trigger to collect data for the histograms on the on each event, so that echoing this trigger to the event trigger, it makes the histogram inside that event, one event. Actually, that currently event, histogram trigger just supports that one event for each event, so that we cannot, I'll say, user histogram support between the several events. However, maybe the next series will support it. And getting the event hist file, you can get the result. And this one supports many options, like yeah, one. So that here is the histogram example to using that making that read Cisco histogram. We can see that this kind this result from the directly from the kernel. We can get the first line. We can see that what his trigger is set on the this entire read event, and the hist getting the hist file, we can get that this kind of histogram. And also because this is done on the event trigger, we can combine the this feature with the dynamic events, so that we can set that, like this one, Perf-probe can set up the new event on the camera, and this camera event correct that trace the caller where the camera is called, and also what the size of the memory are allocated. And if we set up the his trigger on the event, we can get the histogram by using the camera caller size. So that from by using the key caller and the size, the combination becoming the key. So by using this, we can see that which histogram is which caller makes how many times the allocate the memories, how much memories. So, for example, alloc FD-man calls that the camalloc with 2048 but twice. However, it also calls the kmalloc with a 64 byte allocation. So this one is very useful feature, but it's not yet merged. However, you can get the trees from these Git trees, and also you need to build it with config hist triggers, so you can use it. The next one is Perf and the Perf-probe updates. Actually, recently we actively working on Perf-probe, and Perf-probe is still evolving. For example, support the probing on the alias symbols. What's the alias symbols? Actually, inside the gRPC malloc function has actually the malloc function's name. True name is gRPC malloc, and however, it is hard to find that what is the true name of the function, so that there is the alias of let's say the name. There are alias name of the user name inside the gRPC. So so the Perf-probe find that alias name from the gRPC binary, and so you can use it. And also we support that the wildcard and the param. There are param support, which allows us to probe on the every functions inside the kernel or user space programs, so that like for example, for this here we can see that okay, here we can see that the DFS sorry for the small. However, here is the star, so we can set up the probe on all the functions start with VFS, and also there are params. This oh, this part means that all the probes set up the argument with the let's say all the probes has an argument on the let's say each function, and also here is the wildcard filter supports that on the list and the functions options, and also we can get the variable range support on variables, so that sometimes local variables are optimized out at some address, so we can find which variables can use which address where, and so these are recent updates on the Perf-probes, and also I'm working on the STT support and the cache support. I'd like to show you what happened on the Perf-probe STT support. Yes?
Just about this, the GFS card, in all the examples that you give that has a wildcard in a
Oh yes.
Someone has made this as a file name in his current directory.
Yeah.
Go in there, okay?
Sorry. Yeah. Here it's the yeah. Actually, the list example gets this one, but yeah. I forgot that on the first one. So the okay. What happened? Yeah, I will skip that. Okay. Actually, that Perf supports that the build ID cache. Build ID cache caches the what's it, binaries of the target binaries of tracing, so that the Perf record usually that the records that some user space application or the kernel, and in that case, for analyzing that the trace data, we need symbol information or something like that, so that the path tries to cache that some target binaries into the home.debug directory, and Perf-probe cache also yeah try to reuse that this directory to store that probe definitions, so that so that we can reuse some probes. For example, actually that because um, some probes, when we restart or reboot the kernel, uh, the previous dynamic probes already gone, so we have to set up again. However, if we can have the cache of the those probes, we can reuse that. Um, so that reuse from the path record as an event, or reuse at the remote machines without the debug info.
Does that mean I can probe on one machine?
Yes.
I want it, and then copy my .build ID directly to other
Right.
machines?
Right.
Yeah, so I run lots of instances that don't have kernel debug info because it's the Netflix cloud on EC2.
Yeah.
But I can create one machine that has kernel debug info. I populate my build ID cache by creating probes, and then all I need to do, I think, is copy the .build ID directory to my other EC2 instances, and I get to have the richer probes.
Right. Yeah. You can do that. Actually, that this one is on, for the such kind of use case. For example,
You've got a diagram for exactly what I was just saying. Right?
yeah. Actually, if the local PC, there is usually we can have a debug info. However, the servers will not have the debug info, because that the debug info usually 8 times bigger than the normal binary, so that it consumes that many disk space, and so that by using that path probe cache, you can copy that probe cache and to the remote server, and you can use that probe cache on the server.
The probe cache, that's the build ID.
Yes, yes. So that here is easy examples how to use it. So that so at first, you need to do a make a define a new probe with hyphen cache option, and this stores into the stored into the build ID directory. This means that the home's .debug directory, and you can tar it and to the SSH to the remote host and tie it to user directory. Actually, that on the CentOS and Ubuntu a bit different, so that you have to care about that where is the correct home directory. However, you can set up it. And also at the remote host, you can also do actually you don't need this cache. Just need this one. Percent means that we will use that this name event from the cache, so that Perf-probe can be used as an event on the remote host, not the local host.
Masami,
Yeah.
Could you add an option to allow users to specify in which directory they want to save the cache and load it from, rather than being dependent on the home directory?
Yeah, actually, this one is path fixed directory, so that yeah, I will do that. Yeah, because this one is very useless. Yeah. However, it's very easy to use the event on the remote host, and so I and also Arnold discuss about that STT support on the cache. Here is a user space trace point embedded in source. Called SDT, statically defined tracing, which came from the dtrace SDT macro. So that nowadays, actually, the system that provides that the source level compatible header file of the SDT, so that you can use that SDT probe inside your source code. Actually, glibc already supports this feature as a libc probe macro. Actually, currently libc probe macro depends on system tab, not the SDT. However, the libc probe is a lap of the SDT probe. Yeah, like this. So some of the user space binary already supported. Yeah, why some? Actually, it depends on the distribution. For example, Ubuntu doesn't support this kind of SDT. However, Red Hat or CentOS Fedora support this SDT enabled binary. So SDT, how the SDT compiled into the binary, we can check that by using that readelf program. Readelf n option shows that all the nodes inside that binary, and SDT, all the SDT definitions let's say, embedded into the other node of node section of binary, so that you can see that the system tab probe definition descriptors and provider and name, location, and argument or something like that. So currently, Perf-probe support that we are trying to support that SDT as a predefined cached probe or cached probe, so that this Perf build ID cache, adding that the target binary, it automatically scans that binary and get the SDTs inside that binary and cache it. So you can see that the Perf-probe cache list shows that all the SDT event. Actually, that to avoid that crashing the provider name between the kernel space event and also SDT event, we just add a SDT hyphen prefix on the every provider name. Anyway, you can use that as I shown that here. Perf-probe hyphen x target binary and add just percent the SDT provider name and event name. I will remove this binary specific let's say given option. Yeah, because that if we scan that search the build ID cache, we can find that which binary is the target, so that we don't need it. Anyway, so that setting up this we can see that perf-probe list and hyphen cache. Not cache. Perf-probe hyphen list shows that this new event on the same on the target binary. And also nowadays, Perf tools is directly support that SDT. So Perf list shows that cached SDTs directly, and this usually that the Perf list shows that all the hardware target event and also trace point. And I added that the SDT event list so that all the cached SDT list shows that shown by Perf list SDT or Perf list. Also, these events can be used as a trace point event, so that you can use Perf record and -e and directly use some event. So note that actually that the Perf-probe, at the Perf-probe, you need a percent prefix when you use the cache. However, the Perf record can use the can directly use the event, so that you don't need percent on the top as a prefix. So yes.
Is this code in, or is this in development? Is this in development, or is it in?
Yeah, currently development. So
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there is some some cleanup and some improvement is still required, so that I'd like to finish this at least next month or so.
How much information do you need to save in the build ID cache?
How much information?
So, is it a copy of the debug information completely? Some sections of the debug information? So what is needed?
Actually, that here build ID cache is just the copy of the ELF binary. So that if the ELF binary has a debug info section, it also copied into the debug info. Build ID cache. However, you can also strip that debug info from the binary, and also kernel, especially for the kernel binary, there is no actually that Perf doesn't copy that VM Linux or something like that. It just copies that Keiko or something like that, so that it's just 8 byte or 10 byte, 10 megabyte or something like that, some around that consumes.
Since you have the information about which event are being used
Yes.
and what is being fetched by these events,
Yeah.
could there be some kind of compressed information that could be put into this build ID cache rather than putting the entire executable?
Actually, the build ID cache itself is an entire event. Entirely information, but the cached probe description stored into the other file, probe file. So that that probe file I show you here, like this. It's just a text file, and definition. Let's say pound and the definitions, and after the probe command, which can directly use the for the uprobes or kprobes events file on the debug.fs. So that yeah, here probe definition means that this line, and the probe command is like this text line. And also SDT is just let's say SDT based probe command, and it also has a probe command. I mean that the SDT name and the SDT probe command.
So what's the end use for putting those files onto, let's say, a server? Because I mean, those could be space constrained.
Right.
I mean, I can see it also the other way around. You could just save the event and put it on the server and reload it, and then you gather your trace, you move it back to the client, and then you ask the client, please save together all the build ID files that are needed to actually understand what's going on in that trace.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that what I need is build ID. Let's say the unique build ID to identify that which binary is should be probed. I mean that actually that each binary has a different binary build ID, and the same version and the same compilation options generate the same build ID. However, that if the some option changed or something like that, some configuration changed, it generates a different build ID. Actually, that because the kprobes or uprobes probed on the binary instruction, so that if some instruction is let's say changed by the configuration or source code change, we cannot probe it. Yeah, so that we have to make sure that this probe definition, probe command, which is actually including the address inside that binary, is actually that this is for actually this binary.
Is it because your probe commands are already asking for symbols and things like that? Because if you do everything with either a fixed address or relative offsets,
yeah,
and if you put along with your command the build ID that it needs to be applied to, what you could do is actually when the kernel loads the executables, when the dynamic loader loads the shared object, it could look at those build IDs and validate that they actually match what you are asking for. Because all you need to do is a validation. You don't necessarily need executables on the server.
Yeah, of course. So that copied binary. What I plan is making a new shell script or something like that to compress that build ID cache directory to remove that by removing that elf binary inside that build ID cache. Just build ID cache. Let's say the directory structure is important. Not the elf binary is not important. Actually, we don't use that. So yeah. Oops. And yeah, actually that's all. The conclusion, we have a K-probes, U-probes update, and F-race will be updated, and also Perf-probes updated with the Perf cache, so that you can use the Perf-probe as a remote host without debug info. Or also you can use the SDTs inside your binary. So here is the future works. I'd like to working on these items. Maybe U-probes on the ARM64 and K-probes function graph tracer integration. These are the same, similar, using the similar technique. However, the different have the different implementation, so that I think we need to integrate it. And also merge probes on the single event support. Because of sometimes functions, the compilers compile the one function to the different instance. And however, that when we debugging it, we don't like to let's say different events on the for each different instance. I just have the I'd like to have just one instance, one event for each instance. Sorry, one event for all same instance. And also maybe we will need container support because that the to let's say analyzing that the container, yeah, we need to map the PID or something like that inside the container information. Especially for U probes, the kernel side is okay because that the kernel side kernel event is always outside of the container. However, that the U-probe target binary will be run in the container, so that to analyzing that so those application, we need to support that container in a for the dynamic event. Okay, that's all.
Thank you. We have time for perhaps one or two questions. So, I guess, yeah. Please use the mic.
Yes.
So, did you find integrating with ARM64 to present any special challenges, or was it pretty routine?
I'm still not sure. However, those are. I think that it's much easier than x86 because that the instruction boundary is always fixed inside the binary. So on the x86, yeah, the binary, say, an instruction set is variable length, so that we need to, let's say, you have to do a make a let's say instruction decoder inside the kernel. However, that the inside the ARM64, we have a fixed length instruction set, so that we can easily get let's say validate that it's the given address is probed address is probable or not, so that on the function boundary or not. Yeah. Other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.